the Northern Whitefish Range. An area that we've been highlighting has a poor snowpack structure, a shallower and weaker snowpack structure. That last storm we saw evidence of natural persistent slabs running here. Common theme with all these is they seem to be failing on areas that have steep, variable snowpack coverage, where it's especially weak and shallow. Big load on a weak layer means we're going to see some avalanches on this stuff. And as we move on, the good news is the deeper these layers get and the further we get from a big loading event, the harder it is to trigger an avalanche like this. The bad news is these types of slides are unsurvivable. They're huge. The debris piles at the bottom of these start zones could easily destroy a car, break trees, and that sort of thing. And the tricky thing with this type of terrain where we have variable snowpack coverage is that there are trigger spots where you can impact this weak layer. So the scary thing is you can still collapse a weak layer from a shallow spot in the slope. You can see right here the crown is less than a foot thick. So if you cross onto here and collapse the weak layer, it can propagate into where the crown is a lot thicker. So here's the snow that fell in the last week. The storm started with a rain crust, so that's how we can identify that. And this is down to our December dry spell layers. We've got a little rain crust that marked the end of that dry spell and our Thanksgiving crust down here. So weak faceted snow. Now we have a 3-foot hard persistent slab over those layers. So given the really dangerous nature of this avalanche problem, we need to give it a wide buffer when we're choosing our terrain and when we're making our snowpack assessments.